Wow, there sure are a lot of you knights. But are all of you really holy? Before we hop into this ranking of the Holy Knights from 7 Deadly Sins, please do me a favor and leave your own ranking in the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure you hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Now, let's get into it. What's up guys, I got Pencil here, and here we are to rank the Holy Knights from 7 Deadly Sins. The whole squad. And that, honestly enough, includes the 7 Deadly Sins, ironically enough. I didn't even think about that until I just, started recording this video. But, yeah, I can actually talk about them too. But I may not. I think I may save them for their own video. Maybe? Do I talk about him here? I could cheat. I could definitely cheat. I may cheat. I don't know. I'll see as I get onto the video. But y'all know the main Holy Knights I'm talking about. I'm talking about the young boys. You know, like the Trio of Danger. Why did I say the Trio of Danger? I'm not talking about Dragon Ball Super. I mean the Trio of Idiots. Like Hauser, Gilthunder, and... yeah, Griamore so whack. I, honestly blanked on his name there for a second. But yeah, we got a whole ton to talk about. So let's hop right... Does Arthur count as a Holy Knight? He's a king. He doesn't count. He doesn't count. He doesn't count. See, do I just use actual Helbram? Because Helbram was technically a Holy Knight. He had a whole rank and everything. So do I talk about Helbram? And the question is, do I talk about this Helbram or that Helbram? Or is this not even Helbram? Is this just the guy that killed Helbram? Well, not killed Helbram, but assaulted his group? Is this? I mean, we don't know much about him other than the fact that he killed some fairies. And maybe he wasn't even a Holy Knight, but I don't know, he's here, he's in the knight armor, Helbram stole his body, or at least stole his visage to become a Holy Knight. I'm gonna give him enough credit. He made Helbram, and I love Helbram. Speaking of Helbram, that boy's a G. That boy's undeniably divine. I love Helbram. Basically for the fact that he has one of the coolest abilities in the entire series. Like, Link is such a real... What was it? Where was I going there? Link is such a cool ability because it allows people to link up the Helbram. It's basically connecting multiple routers to one port or something like that. It literally allows Helbram to have almost an endless set of abilities as long as he himself can handle it. And considering he's able to handle up to 20 Holy Knights at once, I wouldn't be shocked if Helbram was the perfect conduit for a lot of powers. And sure, he seems to get overloaded at times, like when Big Papa Hendrickson, wherever he is, showed up and was like, you know what, here, let me juice you up a little bit. I see Berserk Meliodas is going kind of stupid right now. I could see that Helbram maybe was struggling just a little bit, a little tad bit, but honestly, it seems like it'd be worth it. If Helbram if Helbram stayed around and managed to be a conduit for the 7 Deadly Sins themselves, imagine Helbram wielding Snatch, Hellblaze, Full Count, all these different magics all at once, because they need to basically fuse all their powers into one, and Helbram was a perfect conduit. But that's just Helbram's ability. Helbram as a character was very interesting, just because of how much he challenged King. King sort of had his own... Let's be real. King had two paths that we really talk about in terms of his character duality, which is his path with Diane, the whole thing where he loves her and the entire relationship he has with her. But then he has the path of the King, and honestly, Helbram is the main contributing factor to that, because unfortunately, Elaine isn't around enough for... not necessarily around enough. She isn't used in a manner that's more conducive to King's story. She's more so used in a manner that's conducive to Helbram. Well, no, not Helbram's story. Elaine is more used for Bond, while Helbram is the Elaine substitute for King, because Helbram, just like King, wields the divine power of the fairy tree. That's where he gets all of his weapons from, including his sword, all of that. So he is technically just as worthy of a king as King was, but the thing was, he just wasn't chosen. He wasn't born the king. He just popped out of a plant. So it's very interesting to see how Helbram challenges King in a one-to-one dynamic in terms of the different types of people they are. One who cared for the fairies but was more fairy-like than King, as King had a spread interest across all the races, while Helbram was more fairy-focused. And we get to see how these two powers clash, and how a divine chosen king, wherever he is, how this dude, who has his head cut off, is a superior king to Helbram because he's willing to take in more than just the fairies, and because of what he's willing to do that Helbram simply wasn't able to. Helbram and King are two very different characters that walk very similar paths, because both suffered because of other species, both suffered because of humans, except the way that they responded to that is completely different. We have all... See, Helbram stops being a Holy Knight in the first arc. And even then, I love the plot twist surrounding Helbram. First, he shows up as Love Helm, that little dude floating in a helmet, and then he transforms into big buff master dude, and then he reveals that he's actually a fairy. Like, there's so much stuff that surrounds him in his time as a holy knight. He has a really cool ability. He has a really solid design. He has the whole plot twist of plot. He has like 2 plot twists built into one. One being Love Helm, and then 2 being a fairy that happens to know King. Like, there's so much behind Helbram that I gotta put some respect on his name. Like, Nakaba did a really good job for a character who really, like, isn't a main character, but he has one of the best backstories. He has one of the most involved character narratives in terms of the entire series. He's one of the best supporting characters to one of our main characters in King. Honestly, Helbram's a menace. Of course he's divine. He's up there. He's honestly one of my favorites now that I think about it. I wasn't even thinking about talking about him, but now that I did, I really love Helbram. He's fantastic. But speaking of another Holy Knight, I mean, you see, but he serves under Lord Twigo himself. So I think maybe he has to go up into Divine. Like, I gotta put him up there. I don't even remember his name, but the fact that he serves under Lord Twigo himself, he's gotta go up. He's gotta go up. He's free. He's free. I forget what this dude's ability was. What was his ability? Hold on. I'll be back. I'm gonna look up this guy's ability. But while I'm looking up this guy's ability, let's talk about someone else. Griamore, or Gria head cut off. I need to find a better tier list, because I'm like, what my man's head? But regardless of that, I think Griamore's alright. Like, Griamore has, like, this issue where he's latched onto a side character's side character. And by that, I mean Veronica. Like, at least Margaret got used in the fact that she became Ludichel's vessel. So Gilthunder had a reason to keep following her around, and she managed to stay relevant. But Veronica was locked to such a small part of the narrative that it almost leaves her, like, it leaves her and every character attached to her sort of feeding for more screen time, since she herself is feeding for more screen time. And since Griamore is, as a holy knight, is mainly locked around her as a character, he sort of suffers, because at least Elizabeth is tied to, like, I don't know, Meliodas, one of the main characters, and Margaret gets used as a vessel, almost like a vessel, so they get more screen time. But Griamore, and he also has the most basic ability, like Wall, that's your magic. Seems legit, bro. Seems legit. I can't actually believe that Nakaba, you came up with full counter. You came up with disaster. You came up with infinite. You came up with all these magic, sunshine, all these wild magics. But for Big Papa Griamore, what'd you name him? What'd you give his ability to? You gave it the young Wall. Like, come on now. Like, why? Why'd you do Griamore so dirty like that? That's what throws me off the most about Griamore. He has a whack magic name. It's honestly such a useless... And the thing is, I'm thinking about it. Wall was, like, never useful. It either got shattered or destroyed or pushed aside. Like, he got body bagged by a demon. He was turned into a kid for the longest time. So he wasn't even relevant in that sense. He was the only thing that Griamore... I'll put Griamore in Holy because the only thing he does is act as a good supplement to Fraudron's character. And that's why Fraudron's one of my favorites. Because of his relationship with Griamore. Relationship with his pseudo-son. So, like... Not talking about, like, pseudo-sunshine, but his relationship with the pseudo-son, honestly, that's the only thing that puts Griamore above, like, an alright character. Yeah, Griamore, that's about it. I'm sorry, bro. You other than that one moment for Fraudron's character, like the little moments you have with Veronica, you are just kind of whack. You aren't, like, oh, do I really want to slide you back down? Like, I'm half tempted to slide Griamore right back down to alright. But no, I'll put him in Holy. Just because we'll be nice. We'll be nice to Griamore. But I do remember what this dude's ability is now. His ability is Vain, and I honestly love it because, honestly, like, it's such an where's my English going? But it is such an ability that allows someone to really shut down opponents massively more powerful than that. Like, the fact that it just completely, not reduces, but increases the magic cost for an ability that an opponent has, as long as he has arrows in them. It's a really cool ability because it literally just locks opponents down. Like, I wonder what's the limit of arrows that Zeldris needs to activate on this Nebula? What's the limit for full counter, I guess? Because it technically is a magic. Meliodas does have a magic activated when you use full counter, so what's the limit for that? Like, if on a character that had more screen time, I feel like Arden's ability would have done way more for the series, just because it would have been useful. Like, the magical techniques are so important for Seven Deadly Sins that the more and more restrained those techniques are, the less and less dangerous certain characters become. Like, imagine if King got hit with any of Arden's arrows. They'd be in trouble, son, because what are you supposed to do there? You're just completely stuck out of luck, and I think that's great. But sadly enough, it's tied to Arden, who gets, like, one usage, I think, against against Fraudrin, and then he shows up in the war again alongside the other the Knights of the Azure Sky. I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. I'm not sure how to pronounce the first part of their name, but regardless, he gets a little bit of usage, but not enough for his ranking to go higher. I still really like his ability though. That's why he's an alright. But speaking of another ability that's really, really cool, but sadly enough is tied to a much weaker character, so much so that they don't get used. I know I saw you. Where did you go? Where did you go? There you are. I believe it's called Love Drive, or it's just called Love. I actually like Arden's ability more, but still, I believe her ability, I think her name's Deldrey, her ability to make it so that you fall in love, it's almost like Attract. Like, if y'all play Pokemon, you know what I mean, where Attract basically prevents you from attacking as long as you're in love with the opponent, and like the more and more she ramps it up, the harder and harder it is to go against that nature. I think that's really cool, just because I'm not sure what the limit is. The only risk is that if they hit you before you do that, before they set that up, you're kind of in trouble, because I don't think Deldrey is much of the fighting type. She's much more a, oh, let me hit you with my hacks real quick, and then we'll go. But if used properly, if used with the proper intentions, it can really work out, which is cool to see. But unfortunately, she isn't cool to see because we don't get to see much of her, because she's one of many Holy Knights that just doesn't get any screen time, which is sad, but it'd be like that when it be like that sometimes, especially when it be like that. But yeah, I like these two's abilities, and they made a cool combo. I wonder if they're gonna show up in Pharmacy of the Apocalypse, because I remember way back. I know it sort of got swept under the rug, but there was someone in the fight with Nasians, well, in the fight against Ordo and Talisker and the whole Holy Knight situation. Someone shot the puppet out of the air, and he's like, it was with a regular arrow too, and he's like the only archer that I remember that has like normal arrows outside the other Holy Knight guy. But pretty sure the other Holy Knight guy died. I know exactly who I'm thinking of, but I can't find. I'm talking about him next. But, yeah, him. I'm pretty sure he's dead, though. I think he died. And his, like, supercharged arrow is cool. But I think he died. He'll also go there. He just had supercharged magic arrows. And I think he had the ability to, like, cast an illusion, which is very cool. Like, he could basically set up a fake version of him somewhere else. It's a really cool ability for a sniper, because it allows you to like bait your opponent into a better position, because now you don't even have to worry about your opponent running, because you're going to know where their exact position is, because you left an obvious decoy there that they're going to go and get. So I think that's a really cool ability, but unfortunately he dies before it can be useful. But speaking of, you know what, no, he deserves it. Y'all know what has to happen. He deserves every single bit of it. Twigo tier. There's only one. Come on now. It's Sir Twigo, Lord Twigo, the greatest, the best to ever happen, occur, transpire. He has to be above all others. In fact, if I wasn't concerned about him simply overtaking the entire tier list, I would make 50 rows and put him all the way above, because he's so much farther above every other character in the series. But enough of our great lord. Let's move to Delgado. Like, if I could open a dictionary, if I could really open a proper dictionary and find the term jobber, I would legitimately find Delgado's ugly mug staring back at me. Because, man, shows up, talks all this smack, doesn't get bodied by Meliodas. Man, I messed up the joke. But he gets all this hype up and build up, doesn't get body bagged by Meliodas. Talks so much smack to get slapped, like, easily. And then he gets back up and tries to play it off, but nothing really matters. He gets roasted by Meliodas and just thrown away. Then, of course, in the fight with Grey Road, we have to show off the commandments somehow. So what does homie do? Instantly goes in and kills people, only to get killed. Like, Delgado, you're trash, buddy. You're absolutely trash. Just, like, I've got to put him down there. Oh, he's whack. He's so whack. I hate him. And like, he's a speed type character too, and I love speed type characters. Like, boost, cool ability. But Delgado, you are so whack, buddy. Just get out the series. Remove you. Deathpierce. Here's the thing. I'm putting him in Holy and above Riamore, mainly just because he provided a very interesting prospect. Like, he said, I'm going to go off and rule a kingdom of only humans. And that intrigued me, especially considering Arthur's supposed motivation in Four Knights of the Apocalypse. Because supposedly Arthur's about to be out here making a kingdom for only humans. So, I don't know. Deathpierce? I know he's from Edinburgh. Like, that's another thing. He's actually from Edinburgh. So he could have just gone there and restored that, and that could be his kingdom. He could be, like, the sub-boss to Arthur. But even still, like, he provided an interesting prospect. He has his whole little fairy friend. He's the main, like, driver of the, oh, don't worry, the goddesses are evil too, because he's the main victim, the leading victim, honestly, of Breath of Bless. He's the one who watched the goddess just straight up kill his leader that he had so much faith in. So it's cool seeing his, like, slow fall from faith. Like, he originally has high faith in the Gods Clan because they're the saviors of humanity, they're the peak, they're perfect, but you just see him bit by bit learning more and more about the world. Like, he's not an old dude, but he's old enough to have experience and understanding. He's a high-ranked Holy Knight, so to see him go through all of this and, like, slowly realize that, wow, the world's not as simple as I thought it was, despite all my years living in this world. And I hate demons. I hate goddesses. I can't live in a kingdom ruled by a goddess and a demon when the goddesses have manipulated me. And the demons I was just fighting against, I can't trust the giants because, I don't know, I guess they're big. And the fairies are menaces too. So, like, to see him go through this entire character arc of, like, just falling from grace and falling out of faith of all species, having his whole worldview flipped around. It's really cool to see. And this is impressive considering how rarely he shows up. So I'm really impressed with what Nakaba did with the definition of a side character. Like, for what he had, very, very good. I'm extremely impressed with what Nakaba did. He's holy. Now I'm keeping him there for the meme. But, Gustav, you're cool, buddy, but you ain't Jericho. You're Jericho's brother. And that automatically, you just lose points, man. You just lose points. And of course, like, his ice ability was cool, but then he instantly got showed by Merlin. He died. Like, he died in the most embarrassing way. First off, he got manhandled by his sister in demon form, which, to be fair, isn't his fault. The demons were extremely powerful. But after that, you'd think he'd get something better, but no. He then has his armor melted by the Chadskinor just standing there with a cruel sun. And then on top of that, he gets stabbed by, I believe, no, it was just a possessed Holy Knight. He gets stabbed, and then needs to get carried around on someone else's back, and then dies, because he uses too much ice magic. Like, come on now, bro. You're whack. You're bad. Like, and it's kind of cool. I love the little side chapter where Elaine reveals to us that she can actually see him, and he's actually chilling around in the mortal realm just as a spirit watching over his sister. Like, that's cool. In fact, that's cool enough to put you in the alright. But man, Gustav, you just got done dirty. Like, that's not even your fault. I can't even get mad at Gustav. Like, it's not even like Doggetto, where Doggetto was just being stupid. Like, Gustav was just the little man that tried. Except he just didn't have enough to try. He was a little train that couldn't. So, I feel bad for Gustav. And in fact, I'll put you above him. Because, like, I just like his ability. He sort of does nothing, if I'm being completely honest. Dale was alright. Dale was also more so a tool for the plot. Like, actually, like, Dale's a tool for the plot. Like, he's the reveal of what Hendrickson's been doing. Like, the results of Demon Blood. He's a failed experiment, essentially. A beast that wandered off into the woods because Hendrickson has been testing this for years. Of course, under the Order of Fraudrin. But even still, like, seeing him in his whole his sad story with his son and Gila, and how much they suffered without him, and they think he just left them. But no, he was a victim of circumstance. Like, legitimately became a demon. I'm assuming couldn't control it. Like, maybe he was the initial test subject for, like, the bell that Hendrickson rung. Or was it a bell? Was it something? I know no, it was the cursed ring. Like, he spoke into it, and all the demons went berserk. He was the initial failed subject of that, and Gilthunder kept him under wraps. So I feel bad for Dale. Like, for a character that didn't seem to do anything wrong, someone who just wanted to protect his family, he got done so dirty. So I feel bad for him, but of course he just can't get any higher. He's sad. So I have to put him in alright out of pity. But outside of that, he doesn't necessarily do much else in order to get him higher than that for me. Which is sad, but still, I think he's fine. I wish he had more. But I understand why he had more. He was very much so a plot element rather than an overall asset, if I'm being completely real. But speaking of other Holy Knights that were very much more so plot elements, this is Frisia. And she's meh. She got body bagged by Diane. That's literally all she has. She just got body bagged by Diane, and there we go. End of plot. End of story. That's it. Same thing with, where is he? Where is he? Where are you? I know you're here, buddy. Don't hide from me. Don't hide from me. Maybe he's not here, because this tier list is missing some weird characters. But don't hide from me, buddy. Hold on. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you. Maybe I won't. Golly, maybe I won't. Where are you? Where are you? Buddy. Halio. Amigo. There you are, Ruin. I actually really like Ruin's design. Especially more now. Because Ruin reminds me of Tata. I can't even say his name. If y'all have read God of High School, the main villain. Y'all know him. Like the original Supreme Deity. Like, and not Supreme Deity from Seven Deadly Sins. But like the leader god, he reminds me of that. And thus, I like Ruin more retrospectively. Like, these two have really cool human designs. But they got, like, so ripped. So quick. And it was cool to see them again. I was so shocked to find out who they were. But since they got body bags so quickly, they're kind of like, but this dude. And, like, Ruin's illusion ability was kind of cool. But I don't like bugs. Put them above that. But they're still meh. Like, no, but their designs are so cool. I'll put them in alright. Well, like, not really cool for her. But still, I like his design so much. And I love how gigantic he is. Like, he's literally just a monster of a man. If he didn't run into Meliodas, he'd be a menace. But, yeah, I do like them. So, yeah, I'm sorry, man. You didn't do enough. I can't. I guess the weird thing, he's the benchmark. Do I put you down? No, I can't put him down in that. No, I won't do that. But, speaking of other characters that happen to have a lot of potential if they were just used better, man, Zaratras, like, I'm going to put him at the top of all right. And you may be wondering why he isn't in Holy. It's just because Zaratras was, like, hyped up for the longest as, the strongest Holy Knight. The menace of menaces. Gilthunder's father himself. The druid descendant. But, he's kind of just a meme when he got revived. Like, it was cool seeing Melascula. And I'll put him there. It's cool to see him come back and fulfill his debt. Like, he feels indebted to the world. Like, he reveals that, I must have been revived by some evil magic because I have regrets lingering in this world. So to see him go take care of those regrets by, like, saving Fraudrin, helping his friends out, being the true great hero that he was, is honestly great to see. I am happy for him. He's buff Greenmore. I am happy to see him do that. And honestly, his ability being an advanced version of Gilthunder is very, very cool. I wish we had to see more of it, but for what little screen time he had, the fact that he felt guilty about not confronting his son, he had so many nice moments. I think the only thing that holds him back for me is, like, the character himself, because Nakaba decided to make him a joke. And, like, I understand, that's Nakaba's sort of writing style, like, he won't always take you seriously, but, man, I wish Zaratras was cooler. And the thing is, he had really cool abilities too. Like, he had his own native magic, which was an evolved version of Thunderbolt. Then, of course, you have the fact that he was a druid. He has his whole moment against the vampires. He apparently fought Escanor. Like, there's so much cool stuff that he has in his background. But in terms of higher than that, he just doesn't have enough screen time for me to be like, yes, he's divine. Like this dude. He serves under Lord Twigo. No matter how long am I going to maintain this joke? How long am I going to... I'm going to maintain it for the whole video. No, only Twigo's in Twigo tier. So, going off of that, who do I want to hit next? He's apparently still alive. He is alive. He is alive. I forget what his... I don't even know who this dude is, though. He's going in mad. He's Slater's subordinate. That's all I know him as. And that's all I have to say about him. So let me find Slater. Are you dead? Are you dead? I think she's dead. Because he's dead. I think you're dead. And I don't remember your ability. I think you're dead. I'm going to go with the fact that she's dead. If she's not dead, maybe she's not dead. Gosh darn it, Nakaba, I'm getting My Hero Academia soon. I don't remember if your characters are alive or not. But Slater's my boy. Slater is the boy. He is the G. Let's hit up that young boy, Slater. See, the thing is, Slater doesn't necessarily have a character arc. He's more so just around. But he's around enough that I like him. But I can't put him in Divine. Why'd I put him all the way up there? Yeah, he's got to go below. Yeah, I got to be... Because he doesn't necessarily grow or develop. He's just a devoted servant, which is fine. It's cool. But he doesn't necessarily do enough. He's not even that useful, really. Like, he fights the Seven Deadly Sins for a little bit, fights the Gilthunder for a little bit, and then is useless for pretty much the rest of the series. He carries around Gilthunder. He's kind of funny. But outside of that, he doesn't do much. But I still like him more than all subordinates. Because I know he's alive. I don't know if she's alive. I don't know. I think I'm like 99.9% sure he's dead. I know I could Google this right now. I'll just wait for y'all to prove me wrong in the comment section. It was a meme. I always thought he was related to Twigo for some reason. Is he related to Twigo? Like, these two look alike. Same stash. Kind of same hairstyle. Same build. He's just smaller. Is he related to Twigo? I'm not sure. I don't remember what his ability is either. So I'm going to put him in alright. I could just put him up there with Twigo, because Twigo's here and he kind of looks like a knockoff of Twigo. But I'm going to put him in alright. He's going to be at the bottom of alright, though, because I don't remember much about him. This is the guy who tricked Matrona, I'm pretty sure. This is the guy who tricked Matrona and got her almost killed, and, like, was part of Diane's backstory. But he's a man. I don't remember much of him, other than the fact that he may have switched and baited two of the strongest giants. And that's not enough. But Veronica she was trained to become a holy knight. But I'm going to put her in why did he exist out of spite. Pure spite. I'm not even sure if she really was a holy knight. Let's see, Zeldris, you don't count. 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 You do count. You're a holy knight, technically. By technicality, I'm pretty sure she's a holy knight. And Vivian is like, she's kind of meh. Like, she's definitely the yandere trope. I don't think, like, the thing is, I'm not even a fan of that, if I'm being completely honest. Like, that, trying to stay all who like yanderes, it's just, it's not my cup of tea. So she already lost me on that front, if I'm being completely honest with y'all. So she loses me there. And then she just got bullied by Merlin. Like, for the entire series. She got introduced, she had one cool moment where she teleported in and stole Elizabeth away. And then after that, she just got bullied. Like, Meliodas, she was fought her in the 3v1 against Meliodas. Then, of course, Merlin just ended up teleporting her everywhere. Then she got a curse ring put on her. Then she got this weird thing where she ended up falling for Dreyfus instead of Gilthunder. It was weird. She was kind of just weird. Yeah, I gotta put Vivian in why do you exist? Ugh, you're kind of nasty now I think about it. You nasty. But I don't know why he keeps going to the bottom. Like, none of y'all are holy knights. But he's in armor. Can I sneak talk about Gallon in this video? I love Gallon. Do I sneak talk about Gallon in his video? No, I won't do that. Oslo, nah. Gilthunder, nah. Ew. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to find a way to talk about Nadja. Because I do like Nadja, but she's not focal point of this video. He looks so confident, but I don't remember why he exists. So he's gonna go up in there. Let me see. Do I talk about the Sins? Because here's the thing, I already ranked the Sins in the past, but I do actually want to do a full-on discussion video, again, like ranking them. So I may do a redo of that video, but that may not be here. I don't want to do that here, especially since I've probably been talking so long about the Holy Knights already. I don't know how long I've been going on for. I need to start setting timers for myself. But Metro doesn't get. I actually really like Marmas. He's going to the top of alright. If only for the fact that he's secretly chunky, and the fact that I really like gravity abilities. Like, I don't know. And this is like a recent thing of mine where I realized, like, wow, gravity's cool. And that may also be because of God of High School. I'm not gonna lie. That may just be for the fact that, like, God of High School and minor Ben 10 stuff. Of all things, those are what got me interested in gravity. And Marmas has gravity control. Too bad he gets not off screen. He just gets stabbed and dies. Like, in one of the weirdest moments. Like, Zeldris' minions that got taken over by Piety just come stab him and he dies. That's it. I don't know. Marmas has such a wild end. That's kind of sad. But I like his gravity abilities enough that he goes to the top of alright. Denzel also got done dirty. Because, like, him being able to fight Dreyfus was cool. Well, Dreyfus was suppressed. And, well, not Dreyfus, actually. Fraudrin. When Fraudrin was suppressed, he was in very special conditions. And then he sort of just got jobbed. Well, not jobbed. He gave his body up to Nerobasta and then died. So he technically died when he gave his body up to Nerobasta in the first place, but then on top of that, to just die immediately to Derriere and not do anything, I can't really give my man any perks for that. Like, he has a cool design. I'm pretty sure he's the king's brother. Yeah, he's like, out of the trio of siblings, which was Denzel, Bartra, and Nadja, he was the, I believe, younger brother. But even still, he doesn't have enough for me that makes me be like, yeah! Denzel got fodderized. That's all I got for him. I don't know, he doesn't do enough for me. But speaking of people who don't do enough for me, Kane, bro. I wish we got to see more of him. Like, he shows up. Where do I put him? Alright. He provides a good Link backstory towards Meliodas' past in Danafor. but he never shows up again enough to be relevant. Like, he has his moment where he does the whole he throws the fireball, Meliodas, and gives us counter advantage. That's his main thing. And he links us back to Danafor. But outside of that, and his little reappearance in the bar with Elizabeth, where he goes during the Gilthunder recruitment, essentially, he doesn't show up again. And I understand why. He's an old man, so he probably isn't built for fighting anymore. But still, like, old men in anime are always cool and always strong. So I was really hoping Kane would show up again, but he never really shows up enough for me to put him anywhere higher than alright. Especially since he has such a basic ability, like Fireball. I don't know. I wish he just showed up more. I wonder if he's still alive. Is he alive by the time of Four Nights? He's probably dead. It'd be cool. It'd be so cool if he was still around. I don't know why. I really like Kane in concept, but he never does enough. Do I have a smooth transition? Do I have another character that just doesn't do enough? I don't think so. I think I've gotten rid of all the Holy Knights who just don't really do enough. Because, yep, I think I'm just... Oh, no, you. I don't know who you are. There you go. There we go. Sniped one. Jude got done dirty. Like, for a Beatles reference, my man, you just got done so dirty by Bond. But to be fair, everyone gets done dirty by Bond, including Bond himself. So I'm not even mad at you. And also, why do you exist? You're just weird. Like, his design threw me off the moment I saw it. And of course, he was like out there trampling civilians. So he is a menace in of himself. And we don't rock with men. I'm a menace. And I rock with her. Ew, I can't say I rock with myself. That's weird. He wasn't the good kind of menace. Liz, good backstory, but meh. Like, she also never even got to awaken her goddess powers. And I know in the Nakaba Q&A, I'm pretty sure he answered that, like, Liz got her memories back just as Fraudrin killed her. But that's way too little too late. So yeah, you're a good character tool, but outside of that, you're just not the one. You're just not the one. And honestly, it's kind of weird. Is it confirmed that she, like, died and chopped her hair or something like that? Because I think out of all the Elizabeths we see, she's the only one that, like, has a notable difference. Like, her hair is a completely different color, while Goddess Elizabeth, Mainline Elizabeth, even the Elizabeth right after Goddess Elizabeth, they all seem to have, like, the same hair color as Elizabeth. And same hair length, too, or at least around the same general area. But no, Liz was, like, the only weird, diverse part, which is interesting to see. But she just doesn't do enough for me to be like, yeah, top tier, wonderful character. She just doesn't do it for me. Speaking of characters who don't really do it for me, if I can find them, I'm looking for them, I'm hunting them down, I'm kidding, there's no, like, I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm pretty sure I got through all the Holy Knights that are, like, worthless. Can I count Kath as a Holy? No, I'm kidding. But let's get into some of the bangers, some of the top tiers. You know who I'm talking about. Let's start off with a real banger. Y'all know I gotta put Dreyfus up there. My man's divine. Y'all know what it'd be like. He's such a cool character for the fact that he had to go through so much strife. Like, he really was, at the same time, like, the strongest-willed humans ever walked the earth. Because Fraudrin straight up couldn't possess him. Like, this whole Ten Commandment tier demon just couldn't possess him. Of course, Fraudrin was weakened. But still, couldn't be possessed. Managed to come back and be completely useful, actually be useful in the fight against Fraudrin, being able to save his friends and throw off Fraudrin. Then manages to have established such a good relationship with Fraudrin that Fraudrin is willing to help him save their collective son against a mighty demon by letting him full size. Like, and he's also the only reasonable one in the whole thing against Ludisho. When Ludisho was just being a menace, like, he was the only one who not only didn't fall for Breath of Bless because of his strong will, but also he was the one who was, like, looking out for everybody. He really was the dad. I love dads. They're fantastic. Like, in terms of character-wise, he does so much despite doing so little. Because mainly all of Dreyfus is Fraudrin. But Dreyfus is just enough on his own that I have to put him up there. But I will have to put him lower than Helbram. Just because I do like Helbram a lot more, despite Helbram arguably having less screen time than Dreyfus. In terms of, like, actual moments and what he does for other characters, I do like Helbram more. Because he does more for King. See, this is a demon, right? I'm going to put him in Why Do You Exist just because, like, no, that can't be a demon. Like, the mark isn't black. It's not dark enough. So I think he may be a Holy Knight, so I'm going to put him there. But, oh, you know what? I said I won't rank them, but let me just randomly... No, I'll leave the 7 Deadly Sins out of it entirely. I will talk about them completely at a different time in another video. Let me see who's getting shot next. Someone's getting shot next. Does Fraudrin count? He was a Holy Knight for a long time. No, I won't. Are we shooting Gilthunder next? Is it time to shoot that Gilthunder? Are we shooting that Gilthunder? No, we'll talk about Gila. Gila goes at the top of Holy, but she doesn't. Gila has the problem where, like, she was a part of a character's growth. Like, she was a part of Gilthunder's growth, and that's it. She doesn't necessarily have any moments on her own that truly, like, stand out. Like, she has her initial fight, I guess, in Seven Deadly Sins, which is cool in of itself, but it's not enough to, like, really give her that street cred that puts her higher, like, in the Divine. She has a cool ability, I like Explosion, even if it's basically named. But she doesn't necessarily do enough on her own that really puts her in an echelon where I can be like, yes, she's a Dreyfus, yes, she's a Helbram. She's more so at the top of Holy, and it's cool to see her, like, go along in this series, but another thing is she doesn't really develop. Other than her, like, switching loyalties to the Sins after she realizes that her group is willing to kill her brother. That's the only thing she has. And outside of that, she's more so a hanger-on for the rest of the series. She doesn't do much, just exists, which is kind of sad. But it'd be like that when it be like that sometimes. But speaking of it being like that, when it be like that sometimes, man, Jericho got done dirty. And now, like, I know y'all Bond X Lane shippers are going to be mad at me. Y'all going to be so mad at me. Y'all be real angry with me. But I very much would have preferred Jericho or, like, Bond X Jericho, basically. That would have been for me. I wish Bond had moved on from Lane. That's right, I said it. But, yeah, that's the thing. Jericho got done dirty, too. Like, she has her moments, but she especially gets bullied in the early series. Like, she's essentially the joke of the early series, gets turned into a joke mid-series, and the only real cool moment she has is when she's fighting against the demons in the Demon War and is actually holding her own with her new ice powers. And on top of that is when she's defending the old couple, her crush, and his old flame from Galland. That's about it. She doesn't have much more out of that, and that's kind of sad. Let me see. I don't know why. Let's do Gilthunder. Because the only one left, really, outside of that, since I'm going to exclude the Holy Knights, and I don't think Arthur counts. I mean, I'm going to exclude the Seven Deadly Sins, and I don't think Arthur counts. All that's left to rank is really him and Big Papa Howes, I'm pretty sure. Because, yep, y'all don't count. You're the Knights of Trap. Oh, we'll save Hendrickson for last. Because I actually really like Hendrickson. And we'll put you both up there so you're ready to be used appropriately. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. I may be missing someone. Don't be afraid. If I miss someone, just tell me in the comment section, and I will quickly hit y'all back with, like, a response on what I think of them. But we're being real. Gilthunder got locked away too quickly. He has a super interesting backstory, super interesting relationship with Meliodas. He even has his own little training arc, so I thought Nakaba was going to do something with him. But no, he sort of gets locked down to support character for, like, Margaret. And that's not good enough, buddy. I'm sorry. You don't do enough. I don't even think he gets to meet his dad, who comes back. And that's good for his dad, but it's not good for Gilthunder. Like, Gilthunder just got done dirty by end of series. He just couldn't keep up power-wise. That's Nakaba's fault. That's not necessarily Gilthunder's fault. But he still has such a strong early series presence that he's going to get his own video, by the way. Like, I love early series Gilthunder and his own little story. Does early series Gilthunder carry? If I can put Helbram up there because it was early series standing, I can put Gilthunder up there. So yeah, Gilthunder, still divine, but I just wish he had done more. We're definitely going to talk about that. I'm going to have to talk about Gilthunder. We're going to have to talk about Hauser. I'll be real. Every single divine character is very likely to get their own in-depth, like, character video. I'm not going to lie. Because I just got to talk about, like, Hauser. He had a really cool story with how he was always a second fiddle to the Gilthunder. No one took him seriously, but then he was raised, like, Holy Knight Captain. He was a really good leader in the Second Holy War. He has so much where he even has his own moment with Gilthunder where he finally beats him and, like, tells him that, yes, I don't agree with the goddesses either, but we have to work with them because the enemy of our enemy is our friend right now. And honestly, he has so many great moments. There are many great moments surrounding these two characters, except Gilthunder gets less, so I honestly do like Hauser more. In fact, I like Hauser more than I like Dreyfus, which is wild to say. But the character that has to stand at the pinnacle and peak of them all is Big Papa, Big Daddy Hendy. Stop saying this stuff, it sounds so weird, but Big Papa Hendy is fantastic. He's getting his own video. Just because I love his character journey. Like, in terms of all the character journeys that we have in some places, which is a lot. For him to go from this character who's, like, sort of locked in a point where he's the main villain for all the first arc, only for it to reveal that he wasn't the main villain. He was actually just a pawn of Dreyfus, who was actually fraudulent. To see him go through all this and end up outplaying Ludashella of all people, the great manipulator he outplays, and manages to completely work towards his favor in free. They're getting their own video. The only reason I'm not going too in depth is because I feel like I've been rambling for too long. And honestly, like all these characters, like these two may get a joint video. And I honestly, no, I don't think I'll talk about Deathpierce in his own video. But I talked about him enough. But yeah, like these top 6. Bro, I'm itching to remove the meme, but I just can't. I gotta have that on my tier list. But yeah, those are my Holy Knights. That's their tier list. And honestly, I actually do like the Holy Knights. We're definitely gonna talk about how dirty they got done, especially by end of series, just pure power wise. But technically, if we include the 7 Deadly Sins as Holy Knights, they didn't get done dirty. But yeah, they were a very solid group of characters. I wish we got more of them. I hope we get to see, like, honestly, I want to see Henriksen in 4 Knights. I definitely want to see Dreyfus in 4 Knights. I'm interested to see where Hauser and Gilthunder went in terms of like their position in Leonis in 4 Knights. I definitely want to see what Deathpierce is up to. These two, I gotta know what happened to Jericho, because she went into the Lady of the Lake with Lancelot. I want to know what happened to her. Gila is not so much an interesting factor for me, I'll admit. Like, in fact, Jericho goes up there because of the hypothetical potential, but we don't really know what happened to Gila end of series. So I want to see her, but not as excited. And yeah, a lot of y'all are dead. So yeah, this is honestly a super interesting cast of characters. I just wish they got more. But that's enough of me rambling about them. Please tell me what you think about the Holy Knights and drop your own list in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.